A little bit more detail on the bypass stage. The bypass stage is the cocoon stage. The girl and the woman, the boy and the man, the things that we're learning. But the problem with that stage is we're not teaching that stage correctly. A mother doesn't realize in that female child, she's not raising a little girl, she's raising a woman. Her father's raising a little girl. You're both praying at the end of the day that she chooses to be that lady. You don't want her to carry around a man in her. Her mother got to teach her to be a strong woman because she may not find somebody who's going to treat her like her father, a gentleman. And after she becomes no longer a little girl no more, and that's what a father raises in a female child, is a little girl. And the two things that naturally transcend her to a woman stage is her starting her period, which Dad says she's no longer a little girl, she's a young woman now. And that's what Mom gonna make sure she has to take care of her, all them things. And when she loses her virginity, that's something Mom addresses with her, not her father. Because that's not, and the closest thing to a gentleman is a father. And when you can't be when that little girl's no longer a little girl, a father has to act like a gentleman with the young lady. And the only time you want her to come back to him is when she's a young lady, not a woman, but a young lady. So two things a father raises as a little girl and a lady. A mother raises a woman, making her be strong in her man. Teaching her she don't need a man to take care of until she chooses a man that's worthy of her. Okay, and that's the man she's not going to choose, but she's going to, within that man category, she's going to have to find the best man that's willing to become a gentleman for her. And you got to show her what she don't need a man. She can do it herself. She can be strong. She can handle it. The things that a man's supposed to take care of, teach her how to handle them. We don't know what we're supposed to raise in our children. And that's the problem. That's why there's so much confusion there. When it comes to a male child, the strongest thing a male child can be is not a man. I tell you, mother, stop trying to raise a man. You don't want a man. What's greater than a man is a gentleman. That little boy should be opening the door for his mother like a little gentleman. The same way he can look at his father, treat his mother as like a gentleman. He's only a father to that child, not to the mother. He's a father to that child. She's a mother to that child. But he's going to be a gentleman to that son's mother. Not even about a husband, boyfriend. That doesn't matter what title. It doesn't mean he has to be married. But if he's in that house around that child and that mother, then he needs to treat that mother like a gentleman. And she's going to be a lady to him. The closest thing to a mother is a lady. It's not a woman. A mother and a lady knows they got to be something to be before themselves. A woman, she can hang out in the streets all night long. A man can hang out on the streets all night long. Okay, but a woman don't have nothing in common with a lady. But a mother does. She has to be at home at a certain time. She got to think of her child. That lady doesn't do what a woman does. So understand that. No different than a father and a gentleman. A man don't have nothing in common with a gentleman. A father does. A father puts something before himself, and that's what a gentleman does. A gentleman put a lady first, and a father put his child first. So they have more in common. A man put himself first. So really understand that. So you got to understand in bypassing the stage of a boy and a man, bypassing the stage of a girl and a woman. That's their learning stage. But we got to teach them when they're in that stage so they understand. We can't go live one stage if we don't understand the next stage. You cannot become a gentleman if you don't understand what a man is. You cannot become a lady if you don't know what a woman is. You have to go through them stages, experience them stage, but understand what stage it is and choose the stage you want to be. At the end of the day, no female want to carry around a man in her. That's a woman. And no male want to be a man all the time. We don't want to act tough all the time. We want to let that shell down. We want to feel like we can be a gentleman. It's scary. It's scary to become a gentleman because now I got to trust somebody else and rely on somebody else, and I got to be gentle. I've been so tough for so long. Now you asking me to be gentle and trust you with me being gentle? It's scary. It's scary for a woman to let go of the man in her. She have learned to endure and do the things and accepted that a man that's not going to do the things she need to get done. Now you asking her to put it down? Even though she don't want to carry around, it's scary for her to put it down. But true strength is learning to let go of what makes you strong and trust another with that. Before you can go give our strength to God, we got to practice somewhere else. You got to practice on earth. But you got to understand what you need to teach your child. Every stage is important, what you learn from that stage. Every stage is part of your apprenticeship of your life. Life is the lesson. School is just a small part of it to teach you how to learn outside of what mother and father is going to teach you, because them are your first teachers. Your mother and your father is the first teachers. But you got to teach them what the stages they're in. Going to school is not learning what the lesson they're teaching, but it's learning how to apply it to the lesson that you're going to learn. Life is the lesson that you're going to learn. And everything in your life is part of your apprenticeship. Don't throw it away. What did you learn from it? How can you use it for the rest of your life, to better your life, to grow within your life? You don't supposed to start over. And I understand that a boy and man, we learn different things, but we're learning. And when we're confident and comfortable with who we are, then we become a gentleman. It's not always walking around being tough. True strength is learning how to be comfortable and look like you don't need to be strong. There's no need to be strong. You're strong within yourself. You don't got to be strong around others. Who cares what others think? Don't let others control who you are or who you're supposed to be. Take the time to understand that. It's not on your outside, it's on your inside, your mental and your emotion. Your mind, your emotions. Okay? Your living soul is your emotion. Your living spirit is your energy. Keep your emotion and your energy happy. You keep your soul and your spirit happy. It's not your physical form. But anyway, you have a blessed day. And understand what you're supposed to be raising in a child. But understand the bypass stage. That's the cocoon stage. The girl and the woman, the boy and the man. Never commit to the cocoon. It's growing, it's learning, it's changing, it's evolving. It's wanting to become the final stage. For a woman, that is the lady. For a man, that is the gentleman. When she comes out of her cocoon, she let go of the man in her and she become a lady. A lady don't have no man in her. A man evolves to learn how to become a mental and emotional creature and a gentle creature. The opposite of tough. Ask yourself, how do you want to be treated at the end of the day? Tough or gentle? How do you want your daughter to be handled? Tough or gentle? How do you want your son to handle a woman? Tough or gentle? So understand what's the strongest thing a man can be, and understand what the strongest thing a woman can be. It has nothing to do with man. Have a blessed day. The bypass stage.